Hi, Dr. Ray. I love your show.
Let me show you what it looks like to be a holy person, and maybe you'll want to be holy like me.
You just patted yourself on the back.
You seem like an honest guy.
But you're a psychologist. Do you have some advice?
I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
You're my second favorite Italian person.
I think you have a way of making people feel relaxed.
She needs to feel the consequences of being a jerk.
I was looking for a deeper answer.
Obviously, I'm a failure. Obviously, I'm inept.
You are awesome. Keep up the good fight, my friend.
Now, from the studios of Living Bread Radio Network in Canton, Ohio, the hometown of Mother Angelica, here's Dr. Ray.
As always, very nice to be with you here on The Doctor Is In with my compatriot, Andrew Kruchek, producer man over there. Eric Dumont is not screaming calls today. Andrew is, so you will get Andrew. Both of them are gentle. I'm the one that you have to navigate. If you would like to call in on the program, be a guest, 877-57-EQUAL. That's the number. I'm rarely giving out the whole number anymore. It's just too hard to remember. You should have it someplace, on the refrigerator, back of the toilet seat. You never know when a kid's going to emergency melt down on you, or an in-law is going to show up, or the kid you thought was in college sent you home a letter. Dad, I got a list here of successful entrepreneurs who quit college. 877-573-7825 is the number. 877-573-7825. If you have a question about something in your life, circumstances, people, places, things, rock, paper, scissors, or if you have a generic question, something you don't understand about psychology or our society in general, as you're trying to live a Christian faith in this society that is so very, very good, as witnessed how many young people just are neglecting or abandoning the faith. Now, that's not totally true. There is a certain percentage, much larger than, say, 5 years ago, coming back. Now, it's not the major percentage, but it is small brush fires. So that's nice. If you want to help somebody else out, we have a previous caller, and you say, I had a situation like that, and Dr. Ray's guidance wasn't very good. So I just would like to shore him up. 877-57-EQUAL. That is the number. I would very much enjoy your company. When I was in grad school, we had courses on test construction. We had to figure out what tests measured. Were they reliable? Were they valid? And sometimes we had to develop our own test. Now, this is a test that I developed. I got a D on the test construction test. I had to develop another test. They didn't accept this one. Little hurt, a little surprised, but they probably had their ideas. So my test is the marriage test. And guys are supposed to take this. The way the system is set up, if you do something your wife likes, you get points. If you do something she doesn't like, you lose points. And you get 0 points for anything that is expected. That's the way the system is set up. So, for example, you make the bed, plus 1 point. You make the bed, but you forget to put on the decorative pillow. That's a 0. You throw the bedspread over rumpled sheets. That's a -1. Okay, see how that works? Okay. You volunteer to go out to buy your wife what she wants. That's +5. +5. In the rain, that's +8. Okay, so you're ahead. But you return with beer. -5. Okay, it's her birthday. Now you take her out to dinner. That's +2. It's good. Take her out to dinner. You take her out to dinner, and it's a place she likes. It's not a sports bar. +3. Okay, it's a sports bar. -2. And it's all-you-can-eat night. -3. It's a sports bar. It's all-you-can-eat night. And your face is painted the colors of your local team. -10. You getting the idea here? You take her to a movie. That's a +1. You ask her what movie she would like. plus 3. She tells you a movie that you wouldn't like at all, plus 6. You take her to a movie that you like, minus 2. It's called Death Cop, minus 3. You lied, and you said it was a foreign film about puppies and orphans, minus 15. So you work on your physique. You're not real successful. You develop a bit of a pot belly. That's minus 15. You exercise to get rid of it. Okay, that's plus 10. You're making a step forward. You develop a pot belly, but you resort to baggy jeans and baggy Hawaiian shirts. Minus 30. You say, yours is bigger than mine. Minus 8,000. Couple more. She says, do I look fat in these pants? Minus 5. Yeah, you lose points on that question whether you answer or whether you don't. That's it. There's no positive way to get through that one. You hesitate. That's a minus 10. You reply, where? Minus 35. So you get the idea here? One more. This is important. This is communication. This is marriage. Your wife wants to talk about a problem, and you listen. You display what looks like a very concerned expression. That's a 0. That's expected. You listen attentively for over 30 minutes. That's a plus 50. You listen for more than 30 minutes without looking at the TV. Plus 100. Your wife realizes this is because you have fallen asleep. Minus 4,000. Now, I turned that test into my prof. I thought it was rather targeted. Some of the marital issues. Apparently, they didn't find the usefulness or the humor in it. So I had to develop another test. I was going to do a monologue on how easily offended are you. I'll save that for another time. I'll do my standard pitch here. I've just gotten the numbers from the audience so far in Buffalo. Let me double check right here. We got the August 19th. We got the two shows, 6554. August 20th, 4637. Now, there are about a month left, and typically people sign up within that last month because they got to find out if they're going to be around on those dates. But on the 19th and 20th, we are heading to Buffalo. We were there about 5 or 6 years ago. When I say we, I mean the TV show Living Right with Dr. Ray, season number 15. Oh, I know. I look back at season number 1. I go, who's my son doing the show? Heavens. We started out in a very small studio. Oh, probably held 30 people. 30 people. Compared to the last time we were in Buffalo, we had some audiences, 150 plus. I think one was close to 200. Those Buffalo people, they are truly supportive and interested in family life and religious life. Either that or they got no life whatsoever. Anyway, so if you would like to be part of the audience, and we'd love to have you. The bigger the audience, the better. It's more fun. It's louder. We ask the audience for questions. They partake in various bits that we set up. So August 19th, shows are at 5 and 7:15, and special treat on August 19th. Father Larry Richards will be there the whole time from 5 o'clock all the way through to the end of the second show. So we'll find ways to use Father Larry. I'm sure he'll take some questions from the audience, and he'll be there as he usually is to make fun of me. August 20th, 5 and 7:15 again. You want to sign up? It's very, very simple. You just go to thestationofthecross.com. Now you can call. Hold on a second. Let me give you the number to call here, because some people might say, you know what, I don't want I don't want to go to the stationofthecross.com. Call Karen. The number is 716. Those of you in the Buffalo area, you know that's your area code. 839-6117. 716-839-6117. And I think that's the station's number there in Buffalo. Extension 100. That's Karen. She'll sign you up. All right? Or you can send her an email, Karen@thestationofthecross.com. You can do that. Come to 1, come to 2, come to 3, come to 4. Bring the kids. Oh, yeah. Some of you bring 5, 6, 7 kids. That's wonderful. The kids are fun. Sometimes I use them in bits. The girls are there. The girls' attitude is the camera on me? How do I look? From this side? I don't like that angle. The boys? Well, I don't even know if they know they're on a TV show. But either way, we use the kids. Anything else? Yeah, we'll feed you between shows, too. Not a huge buffet, but there'll be stuff there. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm going to take a break and then get to your calls. I'm Dr. Ray. Thanks for joining me.
Do you own popular index mutual funds or ETFs? If so, you're automatically own shares of companies that conflict with your moral beliefs. Ave Maria mutual funds are managed to conform to pro-life and pro-family values. Long-term investors can invest in the no-load Ave Maria mutual funds. The experienced professional portfolio managers make decisions based on investment fundamentals and pro-life values. You can learn more about Ave Maria mutual funds today at 866-AVE-MARIA or visit AveMariaFunds.com.
Underwritten in part by the following nonprofit.
Are you paying high prices with a traditional health insurance company that pays for things that violate your conscience? There's an alternative available. Solidarity HealthShare is a community of faithful individuals and families that never share into immoral medical services, all while saving you money with prices starting as low as $85 per month for singles and $512 for families. Never fund another abortion with your healthcare dollars. Call 844-313-4999 to learn more.
Underwritten in part by the following nonprofit.
Do you feel as though life is flying past you? Are you desperate for a way to find moments of peace and quiet? Lord, Teach Me to Pray, the free Ignatian prayer series, will open your heart to His voice, to the peace you are seeking and the only love that fulfills the human heart, Jesus. God is calling you to true joy, knowing Jesus personally. Lord, Teach Me to Pray is free. Go to LordTeachMeToPray.com, click on the red box, order the Lord, Teach Me to Pray series now. Go to LordTeachMeToPray.com.
This program brought to you in part by Ave Maria, Florida, a big kind of small town where golf carts take you everywhere and there's always something fun around the corner. Discover championship golf, resort-style amenities, and a town center full of shopping and dining. With Ave Maria University and Ave Maria Catholic Church at its heart, it's a community full of connection and charm. More than 25 model homes are available for viewing. More information can be found at AveMaria.com. That's AveMaria.com.
I ask you your patience. We have some folks willing to talk and a wide variety of questions right there. So that's kind of neat. Now here is where I get to be a hero. I like these questions. Got a young mother-to-be that wants to talk to me. And this is where, Andrew, have your flagging thing ready because I got a feeling she might say something really, really sweet after I support her and encourage her and reassure her in all this with my toxic sensitivity. Hi, Mom-to-be.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I just got married in December, and I'm due with my first baby and my husband in September. And I don't know what's happened, but I was, first we found out, we weren't expecting it because we found out less than a month after we were married, and it was a big shock. And now we're excited, but then as I've gotten later into the pregnancy, it's a very odd feeling. I don't know if any other woman has said this in counseling before, but every time the baby kicks, I get a really deep anxiety. I'm very grateful for everything, and it's not that I don't like when a baby kicks, but I get this feeling in my throat, I'm worried I'm not going to be a good mom. or I'm worried I'm not going to be able to like meet my daughter's emotional needs, or I'm worried I'm not going to be able to like be there for her, or that I'm not going to be emotionally available. And I just have all these concerns. It's not so much about her physical needs. It's more that I'm not like going to not going to give her what she needs emotionally.
What is it about the kick that dredges up these feelings?
It's weird. It's okay. It's like, it's going to sound so bad, but like it almost feels invasive. Like I love that she's there, and it's not that I mind it, but I just get this feeling in my throat. Like I just get anxious when she kicks. I wouldn't say it happens every time, but it's more than half of the time I feel that way.
Two things about the kick. One, it would seem that that's a reminder that you are soon to be a mom, and this is very real. And there is a little person within you who's waiting to come out and be a little person that you're going to raise. So I think it's the reminder. The other thing I would suggest is, okay, she can get away with kicking you now. I would hope she's not going to get away with kicking you when she's 5 or 6. But you might want to start disciplining now. If she kicks you, simply say, go to your womb. Okay, sorry. Sorry. You didn't laugh. You still there?
Yeah, no, I did laugh. I found that funny.
Okay, I'll let you go now. Okay, you helped me out because you said you gave me a wide open chance to say what I'm about to say when you said what you said, which is you were worried that you couldn't be the kind of mom that this little girl, I'm assuming you know the sex, so you're saying it's a little girl, would need, that you might not meet her emotional needs, you might be psychologically deficient. That seems to be the biggest concern. What if I'm not up to this?
Yeah, it's so I keep seeing these like little clips whenever I'm like browsing YouTube or social media or whatever, and I see these doctors and people that aren't necessarily they don't seem politically motivated or anything, but they kind of say, oh, if you ever feel like you're in distress when you're meeting your child's emotional needs, then your child's going to learn that they need to emotionally soothe you instead of the other way around. I've always had anxiety like my whole life, so I'm just worried.
Sorry. This is, okay. The onslaught of the experts have messed parents up. I can't put it any more bluntly than that. My very first book was a book titled You're a Better Parent Than You Think. And it deals with how neurotic the expert types have made parents. You're going to screw up, you know that, Mom? You know, if you do it this way, don't say I didn't warn you. And all of these psychological repercussions are going to happen, and it's going to be all your fault. Sweetheart, I'm going to tell you flat out, if you can believe me, I'm going to tell you, first of all, watch out for reading all these experts. They're not helping you. They're making you neurotic. That's one. 2, somehow, some way, bazillions and bazillions, and I don't know, I think that's 10 to the 9th power, bazillions of women have raised kids long before the experts, with love, with supervision, with training, with all kinds of wonderful things that belong in the relationship. When that little one comes, you are going to be so ecstatic. You're going to think to yourself, I can't believe what God has wired into me about this little one. Right now, that little one is not totally real. But when she comes and you're holding her flat out, she's going to be very real. And she's going to climb underneath your heart. And I'm going to tell you, you do not second guess yourself. You give her the love that comes naturally, You take care of her, you feed her, you do those things. If you're a little confused, okay, ask somebody. Ask a veteran mom. What do I do when she does this? What if she's doing this? But it's highly unlikely that anything you're going to do short of severe neglect and abuse is going to mess this kid up. So maybe you let her cry too long. Okay, you let her cry too long. All right. Or maybe when you're feeding her and you're frustrated because she just doesn't want to take it and she's fussy and she's colicky and oh man, and you've got these feelings like, what did I do with my life? And you're thinking, is she going to pick up on this? Is she going to know it? And then when she's 12, it's all going to burst forth? No, it's not. But we've done this. And I'm not shocked, dear, that you are anxious about this. I guess. Go ahead. And I'll rant some more.
I just had one follow-up question.
Sure.
Something else I was concerned about was just every time she's kicking me, and I get those feelings. I've heard that the maternal hormones, the stress hormones, the cortisol goes to the baby.
You're going to mess the kid up.
Does the baby?
That's right.
Does the baby experience that as stress?
First of all, it's got to be ongoing stress. It's not going to be a spike stress where something is she kicks you, okay, and there for 26 minutes you feel kind of agitated. I had a lovely woman say this to me once, way back when I was working on the Better Parent book. She said this exact same thing you said. She said, I read somewhere that, if I'm nervous, it's going to mess my kid up, and he's going to come out, and he's never going to be well adjusted because the cortisol and everything else got into his brain and messed him up. Yes, if in fact you have this prolonged... Okay, let me draw a parallel for you. Several of my kids did not have good womb environments at all. At all. They were neglected, poor nutrition, probably not much prenatal care. Some of them were born premature, heavy drug exposure, alcohol. Now, with all of that, they still are functioning well in society. They may not have the maturity that I would like them to have, or they may not have the academic skills that some of their brothers and sisters have. But do you see, they were bathed in the womb with all kinds of bad stuff. You're a woman who, I got to believe, you got a nice womb environment, you're taking care of yourself, so your baby kicks you and you get frustrated. Okay, so you get frustrated. Let it pass. No big deal. The genetics are much, much more powerful than any kind of temporary spike in your upset. Your genetics are good. Your husband's genetics are good. You're both well-adjusted people. You have reasonable intelligence. Then that little baby's going to be a healthy little baby in all likelihood. So
That's
please,
good to hear.
honey, if I could take it away from you, I just want to say you are being victimized by all the nonsense that's out there making parents neurotic.
Okay.
You decide.
That's good to know.
It's
keep that in mind.
And you know what? It isn't just my opinion. It isn't just some guy on the radio is telling me this. No, I got the research behind me. But a lot of these theorists, a lot of these people who say, well, if you don't do this when your kid is, you know what? Okay, I'll give you. Well, I know I'm going on for a long time, but because I'm ticked. You remember this whole big thing about you have to play certain kinds of music for your kid in the womb? Remember that?
Yeah.
It's, you know what the research says? You ready? I'll summarize it. You want to spell this? I'll summarize it. That's right. A healthy womb is the best thing you can give that little one. And you're doing that. And if you get frustrated every so often, it ain't going to cause a spike in your kid's adjustment. Thank you for the call, dear. Boy, I tell you, I was fired up. I just hate to see that happen to a young mom. Ugh. Tell you what, a lot of moms have this. And this is well after their kids are 8, 9, 10, and 12. They're nervous.
The following program is brought to you in part by MyCatholicWill.com. Surveys show that more than half of Americans do not have a will. At MyCatholicWill.com, it takes as little as 15 minutes to write your will and secure a legacy of faith. MyCatholicWill.com is the exclusive online destination for creating a Catholic will. The process of writing a will is simple and now more accessible than ever. MyCatholicWill.com, a legacy of faith for those you love.
What are atheism and agnosticism? How are they similar, and how do they differ? The Catholic Catechism calls atheism one of the most serious problems of our times. In paragraphs 2123 through 2127, the Catechism says, the term covers many very different phenomena, such as practical materialism, which restricts man's needs to space and time. Humanism considers man to be an end to himself and in control of his own history. A third form of atheism is liberation, which seeks to free man through economic and social liberation, claiming that religion, by its very nature, thwarts man's emancipation by holding that there is an after and better life, thus deceiving man and discouraging man from working for a better life here on earth. This is Peggy Stanton, and this has been the Order of Malta's Minute with the Catechism.
The wisdom of Mother Angelica.
You remember the time I said on the air, go to confession. And when you're done, go out and have a big ice cream soda. Celebrate. And a man wrote to me, he said, you know, I hadn't gone to confession in 30 years. Do you mind if I went and had a pizza? I said, oh, have 20 pizzas.
EWTN. Live truth. Live Catholic.
Well, could you tell I was fired up on that one? Wow. When I wrote You're a Better Parent, the internet was not around. Or it was in an infancy. It's a womb-like environment. With the internet now, and with people scrolling through all kinds of quote-unquote information, boy, oh boy, it can make you nervous and insecure faster than anything about any subject you want to search. Whew. Porter is calling from North Carolina. Before I talk to Porter directly, I remember I was doing a local TV show in Cleveland. Used to go on their local show a lot. And one of the topics was the link that some research had indicated between use of the pill and breast cancer. And they did not want to discuss that piece of research or those pieces of research. Hello, Porter. Thanks for the call.
Hello. How are you doing today?
Good, sir.
So my question is, I'm not Catholic. I'm a Protestant. But I've always
Wait a minute. Porter, they let you in here?
Oh, I just had a question about.
Oh man,
do you need to be Catholic to call?
Well, we have to put you on the Protestant line. You know what I mean? No, come on, you can call. You can be atheist and call. Of course.
Yeah. But basically, I'm a Protestant, but I've always admired how Catholics are so about family and everything. Like, that's one of their big things. And I've been at a Bible study, and I've said how I think abortion and birth control are wrong. And everyone, like, is in shock, especially with birth control. And I just feel like it's, like, not how God designed things to be. And I just wanted to ask, is there any like health-related things with birth control, and
I'll give you
explain that it's wrong?
Porter, I'll give you the big one. And this is interesting too, because the very early church, we have writings from the early church that said birth control is wrong. They called it a grave wrong, okay? And that's always been the Catholic Church teaching, that artificial birth control is basically saying to God, if I unite with my spouse, and in your infinite wisdom, you create a soul, or want to create a soul, I'm going to do something that says no, because I know more than you do. All right, so that's part of the rationale behind the Catholic Church's 2,000-year teaching from the apostles themselves. So given that, here's what I think the people in your Bible study don't know. You ask them 2 questions, Porter. You say, would it be wrong to kill a baby in a womb? Now, if they say no, well, then you got no place to go with this. But I think some of them would say yes. Yes, I think it would be. Then you say this. Did you know that in an unknown percentage of cases, the pill can cause an early abortion? Did you know that? If conception takes place, the newborn baby tries to go down into the uterus and can't. It washes out because the body thinks it's pregnant and it's not in a position to have a newborn life attached to that uterine wall. So that's the first thing. Absolutely, if you're practicing birth control, you can almost know for certain that in an unknown percentage of cases, you are also using it as an abortifacient. I said this once when I was in the evangelical world, Porter. I was in a Bible study at an evangelical church, and I said this, and the pastor's wife was in that Bible study, and she got very angry. How dare you say that? And there was an OBGYN nurse sitting in that Bible study, and she was looking down at the floor. She raised her head and said, "He's right. Look at the package insert." I think it shocked her. Okay, so that's the first thing you can tell them. The other thing you can tell them is that, in fact, there's research coming out that, indeed, prolonged use of the pill can have certain kinds of physical ill effects. It can. And not the least of which, many people coming off of the pill find it hard to get pregnant. They have either passed their most fertile time, or they've done things that just made it more difficult. That's why right now we are at the highest percentage of fertility problems among females that we've ever had. 1 in 6 now has a problem conceiving. So you're right, Porter, and they're wrong. But
I just have one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you so like at the church I go to, almost everyone believes abortion's murder, and that's wrong. Okay. But the contraception is where a lot of people disagree on it.
Well, then use that reasoning.
Do most Protestants agree with contraception, or do most not?
Most agree. The only small little groups will say, we're rethinking this, right? But they almost none of them know that, in fact, if you're going to contracept with the pill, with chemicals, that you can pretty much figure you're going to have an unknown abortion of a 3, 4, 5-day-old baby.
Thank you.
I called a rather large Protestant ministry about this. They called me back. And here's what they said to me, Porter. They said, well, yeah, we have our medical people looking into this, but we really can't establish how often it happens. And I remember saying to them, if it happens at all. But they didn't want to take it on because it was too highly controversial, and many of their listeners were young parents. So you're absolutely right, Porter. Your instincts are solid, and you got research backing you up all over the place.
Thank you.
You're welcome, friend. Thank you for calling. And by the way, I won't put you on the Protestant line next time, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I'll talk to you later. Bye. All right, Timothy, where did you go? Andrew, did you tell Timothy I was going to take him next? I know Marilyn's waiting patiently, too, but did you tell Timothy he was up next and he just decided, no, forget it? All right. Ran away. All right. Well, that's all it would have been. Well, that's okay. We'll take some other calls, and then I'll address his question, or maybe he just lost phone service. 877-573-7825, 877-57-EQUAL is the number to call to get onto the program. Thank you for joining me. Oh, that's right. This isn't a soft break, is it? I've been doing this for 20 years. And I'm looking at the clock and going, oh, yeah, okay, break's coming. But it's a music break. Like that. Age. You know how you're getting old? Look at your driver's license picture and you think, that's not a bad picture.
Living the Beatitudes with Father Bjorn.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Saint Josemaria Escriva says that we are called to light up the pathways of this earth by being sowers of peace and joy. This comes from being aware that we are sons and daughters of God. On the road of life, though, we find dangers, but God walks with us every step of our life, pouring out the gifts of His Holy Spirit upon us. Our Lady is our companion, like GPS in our car, connected to the cloud and bringing the latest updates to help us navigate our journey and get out of traffic on the way to the eternal kingdom. We don't want to get into family fights on our way to God's vacation destination, but we should be these sowers of peace and joy. We shouldn't accept substitutes, accept only the authentic identity of being His children, His sons and daughters. Let's grow in happiness and bring peace to those around us. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God.
For more about the Beatitudes, visit EWTNRC.com.
Christ is the answer, with Father John Riccardo.
John 6, verses 48 to 58. Jesus says, I am the bread of life. Your fathers ate the manna in the wilderness, and they died. This is the bread, meaning me. This is the bread which comes down from heaven, that a man may eat of it and never die. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he will live forever. And the bread which I shall give for the life of the world is my flesh. At which the Jews disputed among themselves, saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat? They're scandalized by this. How is it that we're not? How is it that we just hear this and go, oh yeah, I know that passage? They're just outraged and at least perplexed. Sane people, inspired teachers, wise men, prophets don't say things like this.
I knew you ladies would help me out. Our caller at the top of the program was anonymous, and she was experiencing a lot of nervousness, a lot of self-second guessing. Could she in fact be a good mom? What if she psychologically causes ramifications that are buried deep inside the child's psyche and won't pop up until she's 34 on some afternoon TV show? And that poor dear, she was worried about all this. Of course, I went on a rant trying to soothe her because that's what I wanted to do. But I knew my rant had to be balanced by sensitivity. And so we got some moms here that I hope our anonymous caller is still listening. I hope you are. Marilyn from St. Louis is a mom of 9, so she wants to help out. Hi, Marilyn.
Hi, Dr. Ray. It's good to be here. I'm so happy that I can share this because I've raised 9 children, as you said, and every single one of them is truly a gift from God. And whether you have 1 child or 12 children or whatever, it doesn't matter. They're a gift. The thing that I've learned along the way is, will you make mistakes? Yes. God loves us, right? He loves us, and He loves them more than we could ever love our own children or ourselves. Was I a perfect mom? Absolutely not. But do my children still love me? Yes. Are they successful citizens? Yes. They hold jobs. They live on their own. They make their own mistakes. They stayed in the Catholic Church by God's grace. As we moved along in life, like if I didn't think the house was being kept clean enough and, none of my ideas would work, and I'd sit them all down and I'd say, okay, I need ideas. What would work? And, some of their ideas worked really great. I learned from them actually today all the time. And the one thing that I learned most in life is, sometimes you just got to pick up your pieces, learn from them, and move on. But you know what? Babies are there to be loved, and they just want to love you back, and that's all they really want. So you know what? I'm really happy for this young woman having this beautiful baby, and I just wish the best for her. You're right. Take out those books, and try to find an older mom who's been there, and learn from her. Oh, join a Bible study or something.
Marilyn, I was agreeing with you 100% until your last two sentences.
Oops.
When you said...
Except your books.
There you go. Okay, you corrected it. I was hoping you'd pick up on that.
No, absolutely. Keep Dr. Ray's books on the shelves. And dust them off every once in a while.
And I got to believe that people looked at you as a mother, and because you had 9 children, some of them questioned whether you could be an adequate mother who gave each what they needed.
How can you love them all? Do they get enough time by themselves?
Oh, gosh.
We would take them all out, individually for lunch, and they'd go, oh, I'm so glad they got individual time. And I'm thinking, oh, my goodness,
See?
Really?
Implication, Marilyn, you're shortchanging them.
The greatest thing you can give your child is a sibling.
I believe that. I said one time to my wife, I said, you know what, honey? I said, sometimes, with this many kids, I said, I can't do a lot of individual things as much as I would want to. And my wife goes, hey, you big dummy. Okay, she didn't say that, but she was thinking it because I could see it in her eyes. That's why they have brothers and sisters.
Yeah. And you know what? To this day, I kind of hear through the grapevine, they call each other, hey, what can I do about this? Or, they get together and they just have a great time and they talk about, hopefully, the good times. I mean, it's life. We're all human. Things are going to happen. But you learn from them and you move on. And like you said earlier, we've been doing this for millions of years. It's good.
I'm not that old, Marilyn. I am not that old.
Neither am I.
Teresa Tomeo is. Teresa Tomeo is. You're right. The last couple generations, we've just made so many young parents nervous wrecks.
Yeah.
Because they're told by all the experts, if you don't do it exactly correctly, psychologically speaking, you're going to set in motion all kinds of stuff, and you're only going to know it's there when they're 37 years old and it shows up.
And what the experts don't know is every child is different. So what really works for your first child may not work for your second. You just got to kind of learn and go with the flow.
That's right.
And that's hard for me because I'm like a go-getter. I want to, do it right and perfect. And I learned very quickly, you know what? You just got to love them, and you got to go with it.
I only got 2 kids I take out in public. The rest I'm reluctant to do that. So those are the ones I take out. They make me look good. Hey, the pressure on me, Marilyn.
I know, I'm sure. Nobody knows me. They all know you.
Yeah, when my kids act up out in public, I lose business. I estimated that every time one of my kids did something screwy, I lost close to $200 in clients. It's a lot of pressure. Marilyn, thank you for a delightful call. Thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome. God bless
talk to you. Sure. This is Dr. Ray. I'll be right back, and I want to take care of Annie and Daniel.
Do you own popular index mutual funds or ETFs? If so, you're automatically own shares of companies that conflict with your moral beliefs. Ave Maria mutual funds are managed to conform to pro-life and pro-family values. Long-term investors can invest in the no-load Ave Maria mutual funds. The experienced professional portfolio managers make decisions based on investment fundamentals and pro-life values. You can learn more about Ave Maria mutual funds today at 866-AVE-MARIA or visit AveMariaFunds.com.
You like pizza? Me too. And for that, we can thank our friend, Tom Monahan. First, he starts with $900 and opens one pizza shop. Then it's worldwide, thousands of shops. But all this was just a warm-up for his greatest achievement yet. He built a university.
God inspired Tom to build up generations of men and women who have a hunger to reach the world for Christ. This place is Ave Maria University.
Visit avemaria.edu to see what's next.
This summer, take a vacation that lifts your spirit and soul. Join corporate travel for the annual Grand Getaway on beautiful Mackinac Island, August 3rd to the 5th. Experience historic Grand Hotel, powerful talks from Father Mike Schmitz, Steve Ray, Dr. Edward Sri, and Father Leo Paddling Hug. plus live broadcasts with Teresa Tamio, daily mass, 4-course dinners, and dancing. Faith, fellowship, and fun in one retreat. Only a few rooms remaining. Don't miss out.
Book this Ave Maria radio trip now by checking the travel page on AveMariaRadio.net. We are the pro-life generation, passionate about building the culture of life in our healthcare and in our nation. But not all healthcare options are equally pro-life, and some provide morally objectionable procedures. CMF Curo is different. CMF Curo is a pro-life Catholic healthcare ministry providing a pathway for its members to build the culture of life in their healthcare choices, not destroy it. Learn more about CMF Curo at mycatholichealthcare.com. That's mycatholichealthcare.com.
Let's go to Annie, because she wants to comment also on our young lady, first time to be mom, who is second-guessing herself. Hi, Annie.
Dr. Ray, how are you?
Well, nothing gaining on me. I'm still quick, and I still got the punches.
Well, thank you for being there for us and our questions. I wanted to also support your answer that you gave to her.
My rant?
Yeah, exactly that. And I get it. I totally understand where you're coming from. And I just wanted to give a encouraging little anecdote from my life. When I was pregnant with our daughter, I had gotten some very devastating news toward the latter part, probably the last trimester of my pregnancy with her. And I was crying every day. I was devastated and hurting and crying and lamenting and wrestling with God, and was in quite some emotional turmoil during that time. And I also worried about the effect that it would have on my child. I wasn't Catholic at the time, so I was having probably a little less control over everything than I now would have liked in hindsight. But to make a long story short, my daughter is now 25, and she is one of the most joyful, peaceful, loving, very in her spiritual life, she's ahead of me. She is very deep into her Catholic faith, and
Annie,
in fact,
Annie, hold on.
She's a focused missionary.
Hold on. Do you realize how much better she'd be had you not cried? Do you understand that?
I know.
You held her back. Oh, yeah, she's doing great. She's a focused missionary. She's got an IQ of 156, and she's beautiful. But, hey, you don't know. I mean, she could have been an IQ of 180 and in charge of focus, you know?
Right. Yes.
Well,
anyways,
you're going to be a wonderful look-back call, because you have brought up some points that a lot of young mothers wrestle with, which is my whole demeanor during pregnancy going to affect my child, and what if this bad news comes to pass? So that's a beautiful story, Annie, and that's great. That's great.
Thank you.
Were you married at the time with your husband, of course?
Yes. Yes.
Well, tell him. Can you imagine how wonderful our daughter would be had your genetics not watered her down?
Right. I will let him know. Our anniversary is tomorrow.
Happy anniversary.
I will. Thank you. I was also going to comment on Porter's call about contraception.
Birth control,
if
yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. I was seeing an OBGYN for the last 3 of our 5 pregnancies, and he's not a Catholic, and neither was I at the time, but he actually went during his practice when I was seeing him, he went from prescribing birth control to completely stopping that. He stopped prescribing any and all birth control pills because he became convicted and convinced that the abortifacient side effects of the pill were not in line with what God would want. So I was impressed with him then, and I still am, that he came to that conclusion. And
I said that, and you didn't say you were impressed with me.
Well, I'm so impressed with you, Dr. Ray. I can't even tell you how much.
The love has gone out of our relationship here.
Right. Well, thank
Andy,
you so much.
Two beautiful comments and stories, and thank you for calling. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank
All right,
you.
Dear. Call again.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
All right, Daniel, I figured it out. I figured out how you can make $1 million. You start out with $1 million first, and then you go from there. Hi, Daniel.
Hi, how's it going? I got just a real quick question before I got a little time left on my lunch break. So I'm still kind of recovering from a lifetime I'm 27, so a short lifetime, but a life of very poor decisions kind of left me in a not great financial hole. I'll just throw my information out there. It's all good. I got about $4,000 in credit card debt, $2,000 in savings. I live with my parents. I got a job where I'm making $30 an hour. However, I'm going to start a new job here in November where for the first year I'm going to be making $22 an hour. My question is, with just that little bit of information, do you think that I should wait until I get my finances in order to date, in order to set myself up to be a good husband and a good provider, or should I kind of date now and hope that somebody sees me as a work in progress?
I don't think you need to wait. Here's why. You jump to a $22 an hour job. I'm going to figure it probably has more likelihood for promotion. That's why you want it. Two, if you are...
In about 4 years, I can make $45 an hour.
There you go. See? Do I know these things or do I know these things? So the second thing is...
You're pretty darn good at what you do.
The key is this, Daniel. The key is you're leaving behind the bad decisions and moving ahead with good ones and wanting to say, I'm going to be responsible, I'm going to be reliable, I'm going to be the kind of guy that employers just jump all over to have. If that's the case, then you're moving forward and you don't have to wait until you get to some specified point financially. You're not that much in debt. $4,000 is not much at all. You can pay that off in a year. I can hear Dave Ramsey going, hey, you're making $44,000. You're living at home. You can pay that debt off in 3 months. So I think I think that's great. And I don't think there's any reason to hold off.
All righty. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
As my wife said one time when we were someplace, we had first gotten married a couple years, and the girls were all talking about why they married their husbands, and she said, well, Ray doesn't have much money, but I'm just betting on his potential.
I think I do have a lot of potential, I'll tell you that.
There you go, my friend. Now go find a wonderful girl.
Oh, I already got my eye on one.
Does she know it?
No, not yet. I think I might ask her out on Sunday at church.
Okay, all right. Has she got your eye? Has she got her eye back on you?
I've seen her looking at me before. Yeah.
All right. Sounds cool. Thanks, Daniel.
Thank
you take good care, buddy. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, again, I can't predict what Daniel's going to do in his job if he's going to be reliable, but the fact that he just asked that question, saying, should I get my financial house in order? The question becomes, too, what is in order? I mean, yeah, $22 an hour. Right now, the average wage for a worker is $32 an hour. That's average. However, it's got to go against what his expenses are. Now, he says he's living at home, so I would imagine, unless he's paying some amount of rent and helping with the utilities and things, his expenses are low, very, very low. So he could easily save. And you enter marriage with, for example, a savings of $10,000. You are in a small minority. I've seen statistics where many people could not even take on a $1,000 unexpected expense because they don't have the flexibility to pay it. And it isn't necessarily because they don't make enough. It's because their spending habits need clear adjustment. Well, thank you for joining me so very, very much. Tomorrow's Look Back Friday. I want to thank Andrew Kruchek for all he does over there at that end. Sign up in Buffalo if you wish. thestationofthecross.com. Let's build those numbers up. Father Larry wants to see you all August 19th and 20th. Thank you so very, very much. Walk with God, the eternal walk.
For information on Dr. Ray's presentations, books, and CDs, visit drray.com and follow him on Facebook and Instagram. The Doctor Is In is a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN Radio and carried across the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.